Readers. Today we are going to be looking at a book called What Built This? And before we begin, you may want to think about what you know about animals. What do animals need to be able to survive? Well, they need food. They don't need clothing as much as we do. They have fur or scales or whatever. They need food and they need shelter and they need water um, to be able to survive. And some animals build their own shelters instead of just finding it out in nature. And so what we have is what we would refer to as God-built structures or natural structures. So let's look at this book a little bit. It's called What Built This? Here are some words that we should know. We have this word builders. A builder is someone who builds. We have this word dens. A den is a place where an animal will live. Chimney, that's the place that you have over a fireplace where the smoke goes up, so air goes up through a chimney. Prey is what animals will eat. So if you have a predator, the predator will capture prey. Dams, these are the structures that beavers make to flood an area. And we have this word silk, which is a pretty interesting thing. It's a fabric that you can make clothes out of, but it comes from a worm, and it's a lot like spiderweb material. That it's really cool. I actually want to know more about silk. So here we have the next book. We're reading the next page. We're reading a nonfiction book, so that means it's about real things. In a nonfiction book, you don't have to start at the beginning and go down. You have different chapters, so you could pick a topic that you're interested in. Today, we do want to start at the beginning. We're going to start with animal builders. So, as we're reading and being good readers, we want to ask questions as we start and before we start reading it. So here's a page that you'll have tomorrow to work on, but it's KWL chart. It begins what I know, what I want to know, what I learned, and what I still want to know. Before you read, you should ask yourself some questions. What do you know about animal buildings already? What are you interested in? That's what I want to know. And for me, I think I might put silk. I would like to know more about silk, what it is and how you make it and how you turn it into clothing. So we're going to come back here. Animal builders, what would you like to know about animals in their building? For me, I think I kind of want to know what they're thinking when they're building. That's kind of an interesting question for me, but we'll turn to page 4. Here it is, page 4, and we're going to read this chapter. Animal Builders. This is the title of our chapter. Not all builders are human. Some builders are animals. What do they build? And that's the chapter. Pretty close. It just gets us curious about animals. They're asking us a question which helps to get us curious. So good readers are asking questions. They're helping us by asking us a question. So let's read the next chapter, and this will be our last chapter for today. So I look on this page and I don't really know what it's about yet, but here, see how it's darker here? It's bolded. That tells us that this is where the title is of this chapter. So Prairie Dog Town. So this is going to be about prairie dogs. At the top, we have a picture of what a prairie dog town would look like. And let's read about it. These animals dig underground tunnels with rooms for eating and sleeping. And here's a picture. Prairie dogs are only found in North America. A family group has its own burrow with several ways in. Air vents keep fresh air moving through the burrow. The bedroom is often deeper underground. So here's a picture, and we can see different holes, and it's a whole town. So different prairie dog families will live under here. And then I guess that's them on the top. So now I've learned a little bit about prairie dogs. And we're going to stop there. So, what did we learn about prairie dogs? Well, I learned that prairie dogs actually have lots of different families all together in different tunnels underground. That's really interesting. What would I like to know more? I would like to know if they go and visit each other in their tunnels or if they just kind of stay in their own area. What would you like to know more of? Now, this is going to be your expert book, so you'll want to familiarize yourself with it, read it over and over, and learn a lot and really enjoy animal buildings.